Well, how about we start with the guy who won the biggest event so far in Arthurian Legends?
Yeah, we can talk
Hang
about
on.
that.
Hey, only in the United States, all right? I'm pretty sure that
Ooh,
in speed
big
a little bit
energy.
larger, but yeah, managed to go 5-0 in the most recent Sorcery contested Realm tournament here in Denton, Texas, playing a three-color sealed deck. I played what it was water, earth, and a splash of fire. And so that was a ton of fun. Drew and the entire sorcery team did a great job. We had Zalem casting, uh, ton of fun going through there and playing sealed. The bombs I would say are you have if you go to the exceptionals, you have the Drew Tucker arts.
Yeah,
I
the
can't think of
Giants.
the giants.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Giants are
So I
on.
these
pulled
guys.
one of each of the giants, and man, those guys are monsters to deal with. And let's see.
Damn, look at those teeth.
Yeah.
The
Got some horse teeth on them, don't they?
Right?
oh, there are fishes out there, yeah. And then I will say the pick that I was like, this is pretty cool. I don't know how good it's gonna be. Look up, type in worm.
Oh my God, the Mester Worm.
Mester worm
It's insane.
was a
That's
beast,
phenomenal.
Oh,
and
this thing. Yeah.
so yeah, you throw him down. He has lethal, and you play him on kind of your forward most square above, in front of your avatar. I like they just can't come near you. So I would play in kind of like that square pattern, and then drop my sights up to the two corners. And yeah, anytime they tried to play anything, there's a giant lethal worm there. And I feel bad. I had somebody kill it the turn I played it down just to rescue it back the following turn, and they had to deal with it again.
How'd you rescue
But
it back? Oh,
yeah, so
because
With
of
with
rescue.
rescue,
with rescue.
literally rescue. So I,
I play this game.
yes. So ordinary Earth card that lets you
Wow.
put any minion into your
Yeah.
hand. And I don't know if there's any Candle Monk combo players out there, but apparently this might be your new thing.
Oh gosh, no! I hate candle monk nonsense.
Yeah,
It's I don't I don't know how good that'll be. So the Candle Monk combo is so good with Death Speaker, but Death Speaker has like multiple silver bullets.
Yeah.
And it's
it
actually
does
funny
now.
talking about the Mester Store Worm, by the way. Like, I think if you showed me that card, like as one of the first revealed cards, I'm like, that's so cool. Too bad it's in water and it's like absolutely unplayable. And now like water's like pretty good, and you're like, oh my god, it's so good.
I mean, with the
I know.
cat.
Yeah, the
No
unicorn.
cats in the sealed pool. No cats in the sealed pool. But yeah, if you go to just the ordinary sites right now for water that are in Arthurian Legends, I will say, like, I feel like these ordinary sites are going to be game changers. Not, of course, for the limited environment, but you have Bog there. And so one of the coolest plays I made was somebody put stealth on one of their knights, but I was able to Bog, and Bog would still stop the stealth minion, and then I could kill it with the worm. And even because it couldn't move, it got stuck there on that site. He was like, "Oh, it's good, it's stealth." And no, I froze him there, and that one is great. The other one is the beast one. So you have the pog, or
The
The
is it no,
pond,
pond.
this is
yeah.
Yeah.
bog, pond, and yeah, pond with the deer on it. Yeah, that's gonna be that one too. I played in the finals. Like, this is probably what won me the game. Was I didn't have the earth threshold, but I was able to pond out a brown bear on turn 3,
Brown bears are so
and
good.
yeah, brown bear went to work. I don't know if it did 12 or 16 points of damage that game, but yeah, but it was a pretty good weekend. I'll take it. That's
Very nice.
my first sealed event for Arthurian Legend. Oh no, sorry, second. We played the night before, which was a huge help. So thanks to Zalem and Zack Attack for the late night Friday night sealed. I happened to take that one home too, but
Wow.
yeah, that was sweet.
What
But
did you open any like bomb nights?
no real bomb nights. I had Sir Ironside,
Okay.
which is tough to remove. There's not a
Yeah.
lot of direct removal. There's no berries, no drowns in this format, and so having a 7 power was really something that was tough for people to deal with. And the main way, yeah, it for the most part, it got left alone because there's really not too much that you can do there to stop Sir Ironside. And
Yeah.
then it was just a Black Knight was one of the other ones.
Ooh, I think Black Knight and White Knight. Like, I don't know about like purple and yellow, but I think Black Knight and White Knight are actually like constructed playable, right? Like a Black Knight in an aggro deck.
Yep.
Odds are good that you're gonna have more health than they are, and you're just gonna get down this like 5-3 pretty early, like turn 3 5-3. Like, it's kind of nasty.
All right, here's a sneaky like hidden theme in these Arthurian Legends cards is multiplayer. Like if you read the
Yeah.
text on that, if you play
Uh
4 player, you can get that down for free or for one or so like there's some sneaky multiplayer themes kind of hidden within this set as well.
No, I think you have to just have the highest life total.
Yeah, there's no multiple discounts for those, but this Vivian the
That one's
Enchantress,
not so bad.
but she gets all Avatar abilities. So if Avatar of Air, Pathfinder, whatever, like if you're playing
Can you just
multiplayer.
imagine you're playing the multiplayer thing and she's able to puff herself around because she's an Avatar of Air. She's got like 6 power because she's an Avatar of Earth, and she's like casting minions from the grave as the Death Speaker. And you're like, thanks, guys.
I don't know, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Vivian and the BS, or leave that for another time?
No, I think we got to go to somebody else's weekend.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah, well, we did a sealed pool as well. We had 12 players. I don't think I didn't do well. I went 2-1, but I think we're really the lack of removal is so frustrating, and Lance is so important. Lance is going to be a huge thing constructed. Also, harassing ruffians is the best 3/3. Changed my mind.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially in limited, it was played against me, and
Snowball.
I don't get it. Played a sword and shield and gave it +2 power, so it was a 5/5 thing. I can't block efficiently. It was a pain.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I had a great time. I love the limited environments. It seems really cool.
It was really fun. Absolutely. Yeah. No, so the reason I was asking about the Knights is I opened up actually an insane. So it was me and 2 buddies did just some boxes and played sealed at my house, and we cheated. We did 8 packs instead of 6 because there were 3 of us in a 24-pack box, and I opened up like an insane water air removal package. Like if I had opened the Narcomaggio, it would have been the craziest deck ever, but I didn't, and I had no good minions, so I ended up going like Earth Fire fatties, and it was just like a couple of the field laborers to ramp me, and then like I had 4 brown bears, like 2 of the four giants, and then like 2 wyverns and 3 or 4 of like the 7 drop giants, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going fat. And it's like impossible to deal with. They'd remove like one of my minions, and I'd be like, "Oh God!" And I just had like the fattest crew around. It was amazing. But like, I had great knights that were multi-threshold. I had great removal. I had great utility spells, and I was like, "Fatties."
Just
Hang on.
big minions.
So just a regular art wyvern, or
Well, they don't have the curio on here.
Well, where can we find that curio, Bruce?
oh,
Right there.
there it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd that video go?
pretty
For
coaster.
Wyvern?
Yeah. I have the audio, but I messed up the video because I'm
Just
a
so you're
good
aware-
YouTuber.
The first video I do is going to have that audio as the intro.
I love it.
Oh God!
No.
Yeah, so we just played sealed, and it was a blast, and then we opened up some packs, and then I have a tournament tomorrow.
What are you playing?
Hey,
So I tested my sweet new druid list, and I didn't do very well. But it's not up there.
Damn.
I can make it public. It's cool. I'm working. I fixed it, but I got screwed over by site destruction. I was like, you know what? I bet you people are gonna run site destruction, so I'm doing something different. But I think I'm just gonna run like a modified birds list because I just don't have as many. I'm trying to save most of my boxes for sealed and draft because it's so fun. So I just don't have the cards to like. I don't even have an Arcomaggio. I didn't open one. They're like $1. I'm gonna buy one, but
Yeah. No,
I was like, oh wow.
that is
that's
another
nuts.
conversation. The singles in they're gonna be cheap, right? Like
Yeah.
all elites are gonna be less than $1. There's gonna be
It's
some
gonna be amazing.
uniques that are gonna be like $10, and maybe a couple that are 30 or above. But most of it's gonna be cheap.
My only thoughts on the singles market right now are I'm trying to figure out when to buy the best ones and like the sleeper hits,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like I started buying some of the ones that I think are like really undervalued right now, but like 4 Waters is down below $60 right now.
I don't even think 4 Waters is that great. It's a unique.
I
Yeah.
agree. I just want to finish my set.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, is it going to get much worse, or are people going to buy more of them? I don't know. So I'm like, okay, maybe I buy now. I am I have heard zero talk of the Fail Not Bow, and it's like the third most expensive card in the set.
Yeah, the bow is
I
scary.
like it. I think it's great, but I've heard nobody talk about it.
I think the bow is probably. I think it's a bit of a Timmy card.
Absolutely. Wait,
I get it. I appreciate it.
but the
That is
overbearing bailiff is a 7/7 in your back row that can shoot the. I'm just kidding. It's Timmy.
This is such a bad card. Such a bad
Not
card.
with the Fail Not Bow. It's not.
It is terrible.
Yeah,
You're
good luck
relying
finding
on
that
two
card
cards and a single. Yeah, it's just like this is a. Oh, what's the site that gives you can give your opponent?
Oh yeah, the back door.
Gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I opened 4
See?
of those. That's great.
I will have you know that what was I gonna say? Sorry, I'm just edit this.
So here's my take for why I think single prices are so low right now.
Yeah.
And that's because I think people are curio hunting and they're going curio or bust. They're opening up. I think you have players that are opening up tons of boxes, hitting curios, flipping them fast, and then flooding the singles market. The prices are way too low right now. If you look at the boxes right now, I've opened a case. I got 3 unique foils out of the entire case. I'm not even close to having a player's set of everything. Like if I'm buying, right now is the time to go out there and buy. Luckily, I'm grateful to have a local community where we already plan on doing some trades. But if not, like this is the time to buy right now. I'm looking at people's like, there's no reason. Cursed Land, 22 cents. Like that's insane. That's something
I
that's been
agree.
bought up.
They're
This is
gonna
a
go
$5 card easy, and I didn't buy any. I opened 2. I'm gonna let somebody else take the arbitrage opportunity there. This is not a 22-cent card. This card is ridiculous in aggro deck, and for it to be 22 cents, like that's insane. So I think people are just flooding the market right now as they're hunting for curios, getting their cash on the curio side.
That's fair.
I think I don't think there's probably this is like $1 to me, but like you have in beta elites that are the best elite is Earthquake at $5 or $6 or whatever it is now, and then it goes to Grandmaster Wizard, which is like $3. Arthurian Legends is the new set. There's no way any elite is going to be more than $1 for a very long time.
Yeah, so I guess it's just a question of player base, right?
Yeah.
How successful are we at growing the player base, right? Is everybody who's opening Arthurian Legends old players, or are we getting new blood in there? I've seen like some new people on the Discord.
Yeah, no,
It's just a question of how big does the game get.
Yeah, that's fair. I think current player base, there's no way these elites are more than $1.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. We gotta like double the size.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
If you're buying singles, I do think right now is probably a good time.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not gonna be about it's fair.
What is the most that you would pay for a elite right now, including the knights that are unique elites?
$1. If I'm buying them, if I'm buying in bulk, maybe 50 cents. I don't think the value is in the non-foil elites. It's going to be all uniques or all foils. Those are going to be that's where any value is going to be.
Okay.
Yep. On the unique side, is there any price point if you're trying to complete your set right now? Because that's one thing that I noticed with beta was beta had uniques at about the $10 mark for a long time, and then they finally hit some sort of floor, and now they're at the $5 or so range for some of those less played uniques. Is there a price point that you're like, hey, if I see a unique under X price, I'm picking it up?
Yeah, $5.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I like $30 would be my upper limit of
For Peastone?
No, for like the uniques in Arthurian Legends. Like $100 beta Peastone just still boggles my mind.
I think they're like 140.
They're 140 now?
The only reason I looked is because I was like, well, all right, I'm trying to determine. I was looking earlier before this about what I wanted to buy, and I was like, it's hard to tell if they're worth whatever they are. So I just clicked on beta and Arthurian Legends and then went by price, and I was just seeing like where they fall, and if I'm like that card is way worse than the card that's next to it, I'm just not buying it.
Oh, it's what?
Dude, they're not making anymore, right? Like there are X amount, and we are growing the player base, and there we go.
Did they announce that they're not making any more beta?
Yeah, they've done the print run. They had the summer print, and that's it.
I don't think they've said that's it.
I I don't think so. I think they'll go back. I think there's gonna be more beta. I do think Peastone is probably a $200 card. It may be 150. It probably should be box MSRP. That's probably where I think Peastone should sit. So we're pretty close there.
We have had 600 new people join the Reddit in the last like 3 months. That's how I track.
Oh, that's a good way to.
I go, all right. How many people are on Reddit? We're at like 4.6K. We were at like 4,000 a couple months ago.
Okay.
So, all right. If we have 600 new players that are like interested enough to be on the Reddit, okay.
Like Merlin at $18 seems fine. It seems like one of the best uniques. It's card advantage.
Merlin's good. It's hard. I think they did such a good job on the
Morgana Le
this
Fay
set.
is significantly better. Right?
I don't know.
It is Morgana Le Fay. It only gets you 3 cards, whereas Merlin theoretically could be forever. But she is more ubiquitously useful in her deck that's running like heavy fire.
All right, I'm gonna mispronounce it, but Boudica, I think that's one of the better uniques.
I agree.
In the set.
Yep, and she's $9 right now. I'd pay.
I had somebody drop this on me in limited and just try to take out the 5-0 run by hitting me for a 14-point swing in 1 turn.
What is it?
Boud.
Boudica. I think this is the one I sent you, Bruce, and said, "Hey, I found your card." This is BOU.
Oh, yeah. No, this
There
seems
she
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
She seems insane. There's a lot of really just strong cards in general. Like I think Tithe, really good strong card.
It's an ancestral recall. It draws 3 cards.
It's nuts.
Ancestral Recall is so good because it's 1 mana.
Yeah.
Whereas Tithe is
threshold.
1 mana, but it's the threshold.
Yeah.
Hey Bruce, what's the unique sites? I think that's probably a good one to talk about as well. Is because like everybody needs these sites here. If you go to the tri sites,
let's talk about how great Tump is.
I'm trying to figure out what a good entry point is. Like I think if you see these under $10, like I feel like it's a pretty good price to get in at.
Ooh, what about Avalon? Avalon is under $10, but it gives your opponent mana and threshold.
I don't like giving my opponent stuff.
Same.
Yeah.
It's better than
beautiful
Paradise.
Though. Yeah. It's better than Paradise.
Yeah.
Because Paradise can really screw you, but yeah.
Yep.
It's so pretty though.
I think the tri-sites are the best out of these. Maybe Camelot's good in the night deck, but the rest of them, like, I don't know what. Sure,
that's a godly site.
How often is your cemetery being messed with? It's your cemetery.
Pillar Xylus.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying okay.
It's your cemetery, but
thinking about future proofing, that's going to be amazing.
All right, in future proofing, yes, because there's going to be more graveyard stuff. That's a big design space.
Yes.
Okay. Future, I'll give you that.
I pulled a foil and I'm like, this is worthless right now, but it's going to be phenomenal in the future. It's the same way that the mixes, right? The mixes were good, but then you're like, ooh, mixes are going to be better in Arthurian Legends. I'm like, okay, we're going to be in good. You're on Arthurian Legends.
Dang it.
But why are you playing mixes? You have the 4 waters card. Come on, it's an extra mana. You pay to not as good. I'm super low on that card.
I've never played it. I've like put it in decks just to see how it goes, and then I never pulled it, and I was like, no, okay.
Yeah, seems fine.
Would you rather have a core or 4 waters?
Core, for sure.
Yeah,
you know
I'd rather have a mix. I'd rather have a normal mix.
Only one.
I interestingly have been feeling like Peastone has been a little bit worse in my initial testing for Arthurian Legends because I just rather have a core. I'm like, I'm playing higher mana cost stuff, and that's probably because I'm playing incorrectly. I'm sure we're going to go back to like low mana, and aggro is going to be better. But I'm like, oh, here's my 4-drop. I'm getting a discount of 1, but damn, if I just had an extra threshold, this would be easier.
Yeah, the threshold in Arthurian Legends is going to be a huge consideration, especially in design space or deck building. Speaking of which...
Yeah, let's talk about decks.
Charge. Why do you like the Charge deck?
Because I want to capitalize on people playing like CJ, playing high mana cost crazy thresholds, and I'm like, okay, what is the lowest to the ground aggro deck that I can come up with that's going to put a ton of pressure on, and it just doesn't care about what your opponent's playing. And that's really what I think about what Witch does here, and Witch having the ability to burn somebody out if they're playing a control deck of just tapping for 2, and then just having a whole bunch of aggro cards. They printed infinite charge cards, I think, in the set. I think it's pretty close to infinite.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And
where's the horn? Where's your horn?
All of his minions have charge.
Yeah, you don't need the horn, and they all have charge.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so you come in and you're able to just smack. You have, the issue that Fire Earth has had for a while is removing big minions, and like I don't even know if you need Chaos Twister or Infiltrate anymore. Those were in there before Arthurian Legends, but you have Cast into Exile now. Like
that is such a great removal spell.
That card's nuts.
It's a better berry.
Yeah, it's a 2-mana berry.
Especially with how bad card draw is. Yeah.
So, yes, they get to get on your site once, but if you're Avatar of Air, I mean, you can just push them onto your site or something along. Like, there's plenty of things to do there. Cast into Exile is great, and so the whole thought process behind this was, hey, how many charge minions can we play, and then how much card advantage? And so I'm curious to see if Merlin, Morgana, those are 2 that we talked about earlier, as far as the card advantage front. If we're about 50% spells, 50% minions, so Merlin will help me play more spells off the top. Morgana lets you play some more of those charge minions. And I will say, we talked about Bodeka a little bit ago. Like, I can't wait to swing in with a Warhorse, hit him for 5 with my 2 power, Warhorse coming in here, because Bodeka coming down, smacking people, giving them the +3.
That's disgusting.
So, there's just so much in here. I mean, Cavalry used to be good.
Cavalry's still good.
Yeah, Precision Cavalry is still, I think, cracked.
So, the thing that I'm still worried about, like you can see here, there's some deep thresholds on this. Now, there's a lot of sites, and we have the Triumph sites because of the way that this aggressive Witch deck plays. I get to play all the Triumphs while still playing the Ruins. And if you look through the minions, so many of them are exceptional, which means what comes really strong there is going to be the town, because it's better than a 1 or a 2-mana Warhorse is a 1-mana Warhorse, and same thing goes in with the Hippogriffs and things along those lines. So if we can get thresholds online, we just happen to draw into 1 town. That's gonna be a lot of pressure coming in quick.
We were talking about like feedback on these things. First of all, I want to say that Brother Knights looks insane.
4 mana, 6 power.
Yeah. 4 mana, 6 power spread out
on 2 bodies.
Oh no! Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, absolutely correct. My thoughts are, though, that 24 minions is about the minion count for an aggressive beta deck. So now with 10 more spells in your spell book, do you feel like you're going to be short on minions? I know that you've got 4 lightning bolts. Is a lightning bolt as good for you as drawing another minion? I'm just curious.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to have to depend, right? I was trying to find the right balance for Merlin, as well as still being kind of an aggressive burn deck with a disruptive element on the side. So, like, there's Maddening Bells. My plan is to live on my opponent's side of the board. And so if I can cast Maddening Bells, I can start tapping with Witch. Like, it has kind of 2 game plans in here. It's either throw you off on mana, keep throwing aggressive minions at you, or it's, hey, we're going to start tapping to deal damage, because you can see, like, we curve out, our top end is 4, and so we already start with 3 sites in our hand, and that's what we're playing, is 3 sites for the most part. If we need the 4th, we'll draw a site, but we're going to be drawing gas pretty much the entire time.
That worries me with your threshold. You're not, if you're drawing both Merlin and Morgan Le Fay, I don't think you're going to hit both in 4 sites.
Yeah, you're gonna have to depend upon where your with the hand's gonna have to depend upon what sites you end up going with.
Yeah.
So Merlin's an easy cut here. I feel like I'm obviously leaning way heavier into red than I am. But
the same.
I was like, let's give the new wizard a shot.
Gotta play with the new shiny toys. Yeah.
That's it.
The deck that I'm gonna show off is not good. So we don't have to go to mine now. I'm just saying
it's good transition.
I'm not trying to criticize you and saying it's not competitive, because I already am aware that mine's not. But I agree. Play with the new shiny, see what works, and then cut what doesn't.
Yeah.
That's it.
That was my initial thing. Was like 3
I-
of each, and you're capping out at 4 is gonna be kind of hard.
I want to mention this bastard. I was playing against him earlier today. I had a Poison Nova to kill 2 or 3 of my opponent's minions, and I took 4 anyways. It was
That's pretty awesome.
so frustrating.
Yeah.
No, I think this is
And-
gonna be good.
He's not in the deck too, because I'm not playing grapple shots right now, and maybe that's a say like, hey, grapple shots comes in, but Sir Balin just seems.
Oh yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah.
So there's a thought here to go Sir Balin and put grapple shots in here. Start striking
100%.
an opponent's avatar, destroy their site, bury everything.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
So here, let's make that change now. We just take out Merlin and we just throw in Sir Balin. That seems like a pretty easy swap here.
And I think that you could probably benefit from a couple grapple shots over I don't know, any like random burn. Just because, oh my god, grapple shots cracked.
All right, hang on. We got to talk about magic missiles too, though.
Okay, let's hear it.
So magic missiles, we have. I didn't even know this until they were doing the creator box openings, but firebolts was supposed to be air in the first place, and then they adopted it into fire based on the art. And like, hang on, we have an opportunity here. We need more burn spells, and so this deck would look a lot more spell heavy with maybe an Archie instead if we weren't playing 50 card decks.
I built that deck.
All right.
Not this one, different one.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Archie.
think it's gonna be stronger. Okay, fine. Archie is awesome, but I was trying to think of like, oh, okay, what is he really good for? Like, are you getting a whole lot of value out of the graveyard? Fine, but if I'm gonna be milling myself, am I gonna be happy with all the cards in my graveyard? And I was like, okay, time to build a Reanimator. So this is a Reanimate deck, or Raise Dead, and the plan is basically just get Fae out, get card draw off of the Silver Splendor, get your Sealy and Unsealy Cord out, and then when all of your good stuff is in your graveyard, you can cast Raise Dead from your graveyard in order to get minions out because of Archimagio. And honestly, I've played it twice, and it was phenomenal. Like, I don't think that this is the right way to make the deck, but it went so well because so the Scavenging Fiends are like the only red. Oh, did I take them out? No, they're in there. They're the only red card in there, and I have a couple of sites to help me get there. Because if you mill your Kythera mechanism, so that way you can choose what you want to bring back, or if you mill your Orb of Barth Ball, which is insane with Archimagio, it helps you get them back. So I had a Orb out on turn 5, and Zach attacked me or something, and I was like, cool. I'll Mesmerism your like big threat, and I'll just take your small threat as well. And then he's like, okay, fine, I'll put a Porcupine Pushes down to get rid of the big threat so I don't have to deal with it next turn. And then he had some other attacker, and I was like, cool. Archimagio, tap, cast Mesmerism, copy with Orb of Barth Ball. I'll take your other 2 as well. And he's just like, 4 Mesmerisms in 2 turns. This is working out pretty well. Yeah, he's actually pretty good. And
I
the
thought
Fade Gatepunch
Mesmerism was
fun.
going to be an elite. I'm kind of surprised it was a unique. I think it would have been fine at an elite level.
It's sort of a time walk, right? Like, if you are late game and they're casting something big, you're just like, cool, glad you did that. I'll take it, and I can cast a Pufferfish. It's pretty good. I think that in a set or 2, it probably would have been fine at elite, because we're getting powerful cards every set. But I think in a set or 2, it'll be fine at an elite. Helpful Hob is nuts, by the way.
Yeah, I just thought it was like 4 mana for 1/1, like, and then untap, give a thing Vigilance. But you mentioned Pathfinder, untapping Pathfinder.
Yeah. More mobility, more sites, blocking off their sites. Yeah. It was. Zach played against me with my other decks. He was kind enough. He played the same deck against this, but he was kind not to destroy all my sites. But I was saying earlier before we started recording, he destroyed 11 of my sites in 1 game and took me off of all Threshold but Water in a 3-color deck over and over again. And part of the way he was able to do that was by ramping himself forward, getting all the thresholds he needed, and then just destroying my soul by destroying every site that I ever loved.
So he's playing Water, Fire, Land Destruction, Ramp, Pathfinder.
Yeah, and it was really good.
Okay.
Sounds frustrating.
I was so sad. I was like, I got this new deck. It's gonna be so cool. And he's like, you have one color. I was like, no, it's 3 colors. Like, you may have one. God damn it.
So I'm wondering why. What is 13 of Britain? Treasures of Britain.
I am testing it, but in any card with Kythera, any deck with Kythera mechanism, you just send it to yourself.
Yep.
So it's however many
You get your
minions
1
you
of
have.
50 twice.
It's however, yeah. Well, I'm milling my whole library, is the plan here. But you have 13 Treasures of Britain is it teleports to a random location, so you just send it to yourself with Kythera mechanism. You've got the Highland Princess, you've got Raised Dead, you've got once it's in the graveyard, Scavenging Fiends to get it back. I found it in all the like tests I've done with it. But you're right, it's a test. But basically, however many minions you have, if you have Kythera out, is how many cards you draw that game. And I thought, how many cards do I need to draw for 4 mana to be worthwhile? And the answer is 2 or 3. Yeah, so because it's better than a Grandmaster Wizard, which we were all running anyway. So I was like, okay, if I can draw 2 cards, then this is worthwhile. And the problem with 13 Treasures is the idea of giving it to your opponent, but you just don't play it if you don't have Kythera because you don't want to give them resources. Same as Avalon. So for this, you're just like, oh, Avalon's in this deck. I'll take it out. I was like, just like throwing together a Mana Blade.
What are you milling yourself with?
Unseelie Court. I mean, you have
It's both players.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And discard. So you're top decking, and I'm like, I'm playing for my graveyard. I don't even give a shit.
Unseelie Court's going to be really mean against any deck that's not Sorcerer.
Yeah.
Oh. Why is it both players?
Sorcerer.
It's already 6 mana. Why can't it be one-sided? Discard their cards.
But I want to discard cards.
I want my cards discarded. Yeah. It's I'm not saying that this deck will be good, but it was the same thing I said earlier. I throw together a list and then I like play test it, and the question is this hot garbage or this isn't far from doable? And I played this being like, well, this is hot garbage, but it's gonna be so fun. And then I won against Zach again. He like bottomed some site destruction because he was like, I know you're playing something you're like playing around with. I'm not gonna like destroy all your lands. I'm like, thank you, I appreciate it. But like I won. And then I played another game and like I won and it was pretty good. And it wasn't off of like the combo. It was mostly just I got Unseelie Court out and I didn't get to reanimate anything, but I milled like 6 cards or something. And then I was like, oh, I've got everything. I was like, I'm just gonna Arcane Barrage you. I'm gonna cast into exile one of you guys. Let's Feast for Crow your Bury to get rid of that. Like,
what do you think about Sisters?
For this deck, they're good.
Are they in here?
You know what? Sorry. This is my revised version that I took them out for.
Oh, okay.
They're good, but I was leaning on Sylvan Splendor more, so I replaced them with just random Fae to like keep me alive. I think it was Tom Thumb I put in. Tom Thumb's cracked.
Yeah, the thing it just bounces the hand. You can't kill it. Like,
yeah, I blocked something like 28 damage against Zach because his Master Storm couldn't deal with him. I was like, yeah, I'll just play him in front of your Master Storm. He's like, okay.
No,
I
think Sir Tom's going to be a great, just a one of just deal with this this two thing power thing. Yeah. And it's
every turn.
And it's cheap enough to play it every turn with something else.
Yeah, he's a beaut.
All right.
No, this deck is it might not be great, but it is very fun.
And then mine is I'm coming back to it. I gotta make it good again. Avatar of Earth with air for some movement. I don't have the only air card I have from Arthurian Legends is Sir Percival because maybe it draws a card and have some movement. The big thing I think here is going to be great, just as a card in general, is Warhorse.
Yeah.
This is free movement. It leaves a 2/2 body behind. Like, movement's good. The problem with this is it's 3 color and it's going to be susceptible to land destruction.
Yeah. I don't know if that will be a lot of the meta, but playing against it with Zach made me take I think I said earlier, I made 12 decks already, and I just cut anything that was 3 color, and I remade them in 2 color. Because I was like, oh, that's rough. And it's pretty easy to do in red.
Yeah, there's a lot of land destruction now, isn't there?
It's so sinkholes were always good, and that honestly, like that's why you played sinkhole, right? Like you played sinkhole to keep people off of tempo, but they're like very powerful in keeping you off of threshold. And now you've got Hamlet's Blaze, you've got Castles Ablaze, and that's 5 spells between the two of them. No, 6 spells between the two of them. You got the Great Drowning of Men and Year of the Blaze or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're at like a 10 land destruction cards out of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not hard to get them, and it's not hard to make them very valuable.
Very.
I'm curious what the sites are going to look like. Like, how many Hamlets Ablaze is going to be better than castles? Like, how important is unique and elite sites? Like, is that going to matter? I'm curious to see how that ends up shaking out.
Are you running morals? Because Bower of Bliss needs to die. If you're running mortals, I mean, that's the reason I can't play Death Speaker. I scrapped my Love Potion deck because of this and Feast for Crows.
Yeah, Feast.
That was the one I was like talking about, and I was like, it's out.
Feast of Crows is going to be a great, just like silver bullet card for a lot of constructed decks.
Yeah, I think so too. What do you, Bruce, in your Avatarverse list? What do you not want them to Feast of Crows?
Ask again. In this, why not Feast of Crows?
No. What would you not like? What do you want? What would you hate if they took something out of this deck? What would you not want them to Feast of Crows?
Yeah, I think anything in my hand.
Yeah.
Does it draw a card if they name something in your hand?
No, it just removes it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's no like silver bullet to this deck you can remove because the silver or the thing is Avatar of Earth. I guess Vivian is like, but it's unique. I don't know. There's Root Spider is a big one. But there's so much in here that's redundant, like War Horses and Vile Imps, and even Reckless Squire is now like a secondary Vile Imp where it removes a 2-power minion or something for free and leaves a body behind. There's just so much redundancy, like Heat Ray and Firebolts, and like you can name a specific kill spell, but like I don't care what minions I get as long as it's a minion. I don't care what kill spell I get as long as it's a kill spell.
I think it depends on what turn you're on.
Yeah, the two.
Like CJ, they just name, Ray's dead against you. There's so many different cards. I was thinking about it. Like that's probably just going to be a staple in Earth decks and competitive environments. Like you just hit the best card out of their deck.
Yeah, I mean, if you name Ray's dead against this deck, like I haven't won with it yet, so I'm like, okay.
No, I think Feast of Crows is going to be a really good like meta balancing card, but it's also unique, so
like it's another reason that like Death Speaker, who was king, is just like you have to like. Are you willing to build a Death Speaker Jin combo deck that it's it's a 1 out of 50,
to a card,
but loses to this, right? Like if they draw it, you've lost. And you have to think that like, okay, if I'm against a druid, they can just turn 1. There's 2 cards in their deck that hose me. There's turn 1 Dream Quest. Again, it's a magical Christmas land, but turn 1 play a site, get a tawny, Dream Quest. The only way you can stop them from doing that is a 50-50 shot with Lightning Bolt.
Yep.
Because it's turn 1.
You mentioned Druid, and I know we talked a little bit about this in the Discord some, and there was a talk about the Poison Dagger. That's probably a good place to go ahead and hit a little bit on that. Druid and Poison Dagger. CJ, you want to cover that?
So reading it doesn't sound like Poison Dagger would work. Just because he says that, when you flip him, whenever an enemy enters a nearby site, it takes 1 damage. It doesn't say Druid deals them 1 damage. So similarly to like casting a Firebolt when you're holding a Poison Dagger, the card Firebolts is dealing the damage, not the Druid. So it wouldn't work to kill it with poison or lethal. But apparently, based on, I think it was the way that Blaze is errated, if you had a Poison Dagger and you ran with Blaze, I think Blaze assigns the damage from the card to the avatar, so it does work. I think. I might be getting this wrong. But the point is, because of the way that Blaze is worded, Druid worked with Poison Dagger. But the company, Eric Curios, basically said like that was not design intent, and they'll FAQ it out. So Druid will not work with Poisonous Dagger.
The way I read this is the sight is dealing the damage.
I think that's what they're going to FAQ it to be.
Yeah.
But it will work with Drums of Doom.
Yeah, because that's Drums just cares about damage nearby. Yeah.
Which I don't mind. If you want to spend 5 mana out for an artifact,
yeah,
I think we can deal with that.
I agree. I was like, I'm fine with that. And as somebody who is building Druid decks, which again, mine didn't do so well, but I am fine with Poisonous Dagger not working, and I kind of wanted it not to be. I was like, that seems rude. Blood Ravens?
Oh, it's the Tawny thing until we get Tawny.
Got it. I was like, Blood Ravens?
Yeah, no, Blood Ravens is supposed to be the 1/1 flyer spellcaster, yeah.
Ooh, Grain Sparrow, though? That's a good thing. I think Grain Sparrow's good.
I think just as a general life gain and little chump blocker seems fine.
Tutorable.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Sylvan Splendor and Beast decks. It's such a I got a foil one of these out of one of my boxes and I was like, oh, this is beautiful.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the horn. I think we should talk about the horn for just a half a second. Like, this thing is disgusting. If you can disenchant it, you have to kill this before it. I horned on turn 5 and moved up. And then the next turn I played a sight. No, I flipped. I summoned Brawny, the 4/4, and I played a Wyvern, and I hit for 10 in a turn off of a horn charge. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Wild Wild West runs horn now, and that got so much stronger. I mean, Wild Wild West was good, right? You got top 8 in season 5 on the league with Wild Wild West. It is much better now.
You have it live here? Yeah.
Just because, yeah. This is my newest version of it. Holy crap. Just being able to get like a Wyvern. Oh, yeah. Rita, also insane. Rita with charge when they've already attacked. What are you going to
do? Yeah, just locking everybody down.
Yeah. I'm just going to hit you for 6 every turn. Don't worry about it.
I haven't got to play Sir Percival or some of the knights like really impactful.
Boros is good.
Yeah, the range too.
Mm-hmm. And enemies lose stealth. People are still playing Infiltrate. And I was like, give me that Wyvern back.
Yeah. No, I think Wyvern is a huge, just a great creature.
Yeah. Oh, also Galahad's cracked. If you can get him out. I know he's 4 pips, but...
Oh, you have Bow in here.
Yeah, I wanted to test it. Because, like, I don't know.
You play a big fatty on your site or turn 2 site, and then you just shoot him. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, I'll just hit you.
Avatar Verse would be interesting with a bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you just stay on your home site with all these sites built around you, and you're just like popping them for what, 9? No.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. Actually, no, that's a really good point, because a lot of ways Avatar of Earth loses is they play to the back row and it takes too long to get to them. Mm-hmm. You can build your sites around you, not really care, and just shoot them for 6 or 7. Yeah.
No, it is a projectile though, right? So it would hit your own minions. So
yeah, you can play around that, but
playing away, yeah,
you can definitely get a sneaky shot in with a bow.
What do you think about water with Avatar of Earth? And I know, so my biggest issue with AL is that I can't stop building water decks. But Hob, if you could somehow get Hob in Avatar of Earth, that would be insane. He'd be either double attacks or double lands so that you can get there.
And the other thing we didn't talk about was Vivian in Avatar of Earth. Having 2 Avatar of Earths just feels so strong. Mm-hmm. It's so good. Yeah.
Are you putting Tithe in this deck?
I am not, but that's probably a good one.
But by the time you get 3 Earth Threshold, do you need 3 more sites?
Yeah, not really. I'm still sticking at 5 sites 90% of the time. Oh, I got double bells by Zalem today. That was really annoying.
I saw that. I tuned in during the walk. I went, oof, 4 additional mana per spell?
Yeah. Violent cost 8. or no, Quarters and Cobalt cost 8. It was really, really frustrating.
Yeah, we've been talking about some of the knights, and we haven't talked about this at all. Knighthood.
I don't like
So
it.
good.
It's bad.
What?
Oh,
Proceed.
I want to
Let's
hear
go,
your
Brew.
argument first. I'll talk you down from it.
I appreciate that. So I'm curious on this. It's a 1 mana. I play just the foot soldier. I get all my foot soldiers out with my common earth sites. I play geomancer, something along those lines, and then I can start using knighthood to just turn my little 1/1s into summoning spheres for these big 6-drop multi-threshold knights.
I'm sold.
Maybe it's fine because there's a density of knights and whatever these things are, but why not just play Templar?
Because you get a 6-drop on turn 2.
Yeah, that's high rolling. I don't discount that, but like,
Why do you play mixes?
I still don't like mixes.
All right, you know what? If that's your stance, I think that's a fair stance. Because it's a bad top deck late game. But I guess yeah, it is high rolling. It's just so. I think
You will steal games. I'm not discounting that.
Yeah,
you will steal games, but it also is. I think that right now the worst part of the night deck is your threshold. I don't think that it's like removal, right? Like Wild Wild West, great deck, loses to enough removal. I think the night deck has a hard time. I think the night deck is better against removal than the Wild Wild West deck is. I think that the threshold is really difficult. So what if I'm attacking your threshold, but you've got something out? You know, you've got a land surveyor, you've got something out there, and you're even if you had the mana, I think Knighthood could save you. You're like, oh god, I need these fire thresholds, and they keep blowing up my fire sites. Knighthood, cover my threshold for me. I think that it is a fixer for you. It's a better mix in the night deck, I think.
I would agree with that. It plays the same rule as a mix, but it doesn't really care about like if you have a mixed fire mix or whatever it is, and you have a 2 earth threshold knight and an air, and your mix doesn't work. But Knighthood would work for that situation. I'll give you it's a better mix. I just like you need a mortal, you need Knighthood, you need a thing to put into play. You need 3 cards for this to work.
Yeah.
No, you need a foot soldier. You use a foot soldier. You have commons. You have 4 ordinary sites now that create foot soldiers.
But the problem is they're single threshold in a 4 threshold deck. I think that Knighthood will be better in a deck when people accept that we're playing maximum 3 colors for the night deck. Like I built the night deck and I just did 4 threshold or 4 color because I was like, this is gonna be fun and it's gonna be cool. But I think that site destruction is gonna be like, okay, you're against Avatar Mayor. They're running Sinkhole and they're gonna target your threshold and sites.
I just threw this together, but man, these threshold counts are nuts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, good thing we have TTS. Imagine playing this in paper and then you're keeping track of everything, and
You just gotta check every single time.
Yeah. I think though, again, if you're targeting someone's threshold, you're probably keeping track of it because I'll just do this. And you're like, I did blow up that red threshold last turn, so no, you're not.
Yeah.
so we'll say I printed off these for when I was that way. I was playing at locals, and so I could put a dice on it and then keep track of the threshold that way, and that worked out really well.
Yeah.
So
I just check every single time. It's like, do I have the threshold for this? And then, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What? How about this? Last question. What do you think the sleeper card of the set is so far?
God. All of them? No.
yeah,
I think it's going to be a site. These sites are
Interesting.
crazy.
Yeah.
I know we just went up to 30 sites in our...
Oh, Kelp.
Yes.
I don't know that's a sleeper, though. I think that's very obviously incredible.
Yeah, it's like a better observatory, right?
It's phenomenal.
I think Poison Well is going to be scary and an aggressive shell.
Yep.
Another manland here. Like, this thing draws you a card. Like,
It's good in Reanimator.
Yep. No, you know
I
what? I like Fields. I'll call out Fields. I think that's a good one to go down to. So Fields is the red that you have.
Fields of Famine. Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
this is basically playing a free death dealer. Like that's it. I mean, they get to keep one minion. You get to keep one minion. Like this is basically a free death dealer. Like this card is insane. Play an aggro deck, play in a control deck. It doesn't really matter. You're gonna want to play this Fear Red.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Fields is going to be an auto-include in any fire deck.
I got
All right.
I got one. I think Tooth Fairies.
Tooth Fairy seems really good.
I think Tooth Fairies is going to be is not because it means free 2 damage. It's because it means you never block any of my shit. I think that Avatar of Air loves this.
Yeah, no, it's a 2/2 flyer. That's all Avatar Air needs, and it has a great ability.
You can grab it with your Falconer, and you're stopping them from blocking you. Avatar of Air is just like the ultimate race deck.
You can grab
I
it with
think that-
Falconer.
I don't think.
Yeah, it's an airborne beast. Oh wait, it's not a beast.
No, it's a fairy, right?
Oh, maybe you can't.
Yeah, let's sort of beast with airborne.
So much worse. All right, forget it. I said anything. I
Yeah,
think
maybe
it's
you
still
still
pretty
play
good.
4 of it.
Yeah, I think it's still pretty good.
Like, is it better than bats? Like, that's
Yes,
probably the
I think it's
question.
better. I think it's
Yeah.
better than bats. Like
And
bats.
so, what's your mix in Avatar of Air right now? Are you playing this in Avatar of Air?
3,
Yeah.
or 2 and 4?
I run 3 bats, 3 fairies.
Or
This
that
is
was
an
pretty good, too.
exceptional. So you're saying
Yeah.
four bats, 2 of these?
I think so, or 3 and 3 because, yeah.
You never want to draw a naked bat. You do. It happens, but you don't really want to draw them naked. You want to get bats with falconers. So I do 3, and that way if I draw 1,
You
my
still have-
falconer still have hits. And then, but I hate, like drawing a naked bat feels so bad. It's like the weakest card in the deck. I think Tooth Fairies is going to be, because like, what else am I adding? Honestly, I searched Arthurian Legends Airborne. There's like no good new hits for
But you still
Avatar
get-
Bear. So I
You have the
added,
stealthy boy though. Like, you don't
yeah,
have to have flying in order
you're
to be
right.
good. Like,
I was
Bruce, I know you love the Pegasus, and
yeah, Pegasus is great.
Yeah.
so the 3-mana stealth. Like, I think that card's an auto
Band of
include.
Thieves.
Yeah,
I was
Band of
talking
Thieves.
to Kevin Navekma, the guy who made the deck earlier, and he was like, I don't know. I think he said he'd rather run more Host Eagles than Band of Thieves.
Yeah, I don't think Band of Thieves goes in Avatar of Air.
Well,
it's
hell,
not-
it's just an aggressive attacks for 3 for free. I think it's a
Airborne. You gotta worry about.
Airborne.
Yeah, Airborne is
Why?
so big.
Because you can hit any site in the realm with Avatar of Air and Airborne.
I can just push them.
That's
Now they're pseudo airborne.
that hits anything nearby. But
Airborne is.
Airborne and push, you can hit literally any site in the realm.
That's the point of Airborne and
Yeah.
Avatar of Air.
Okay, are you playing Phase Assassin and Avatar of Air?
No,
I am.
Yeah,
but Face
Exactly.
Assassin you can play up
Turn
to.
2 on their turn 2
Yeah.
is next to their avatar.
okay, and I can play it turn 2 as well, and then push it forward onto their site.
I was on your side, Blake. I'm not pretending like I know better. I asked the Birds Master himself, and he's like, I prefer Host Eagle, and I was like, fine.
Yep.
I am reiterating what Kevin told me because he's the master, right?
He's so good he got hired.
Yeah, he's so good he got hired. That's what I was saying. I am not pretending like this is I'm trying to defend the point, but I was like, yeah, dude, what do you think about Band of Thieves? It seems like an auto include. He's like, Host Eagle. I'm like, okay.
Airborne.
All right, what do you think is the most overrated card in the set?
Oh, we've already talked
we
about
pulled
this.
it
It's
there.
it's 4 waters, whatever.
Yeah.
Super mix. I don't think that's a question.
Can you pull it up?
Yeah.
I have one question about this, honestly. Nope. All right. Not even. Okay. I was hoping that it would work for artifacts. If it worked for artifacts, there could be an argument that it is like pretty like you could 4 waters out your Immortal Throne on turn 2 or 3. I could see that argument. Doesn't work for artifacts. Yeah, I agree.
It's a unique.
If you need another mix, and I don't even know why you want mixes right now.
If you're playing 8 mixes already and you want a 9th one, sure.
That's it. Okay, what about Ring? Because that's another one that people have been talking up, and
it's amazing.
I'm kind of curious about it in like Avatar of Air, where you're pushing around, you're there.
Oh, it's in.
You play Ring, you're pinging them for 1, you're gaining the life, like you're already a beat down. I kind of like Ring.
It's good in Battle Mage. It's good in Spark Mage. It's anything that's throwing spells. Archimag. Like, I think Ring is going to be This is one of the best uniques in the set.
This is one of the best uniques in the game.
Yeah.
All right, how many did y'all pull? Because I pulled 0 out of 6 boxes.
I got 1.
Big 0.
There you go.
It's really it is okay. Wait, ready for this one? And this is actually upsetting me. So first of all, Ring is good in all those things, but can I just tell you that Kevmo is going to make top 4 of season 6?
Spark Mage.
Ring, Poisonous Dagger, they combo, and they are insane in Spark Mage. And you've got the Arcane Barrage, which is a 3 mana 0 cost spell if you want it to be.
The Arcane Barrage.
Spark Mage is going to be decent.
Spark Mage is. Sorry. When I first read Arcane Barrage, it was like, hold on, I'm at like turn 6, and I just dump this and I shoot you for 6 and shoot you for 3 off of Spark Mage.
Yeah. Or if you're storming off.
Yeah.
It's 0 mana, deal 3 damage.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I don't know that we're there with Storm yet, but we're not far. But holy crap. And with the Ring of Morgan and Poisonous Dagger, you don't even have to waste spells on killing the enemy minions anymore. Because Spark Mage just has to be like, okay, I'll bolt your Amazon Warrior, tap, kill your Amazon Warrior or something. But now it's just like, I'm going to bolt your face. I'm going to kill your Amazon Warrior with my ring. I'm going to gain a life. I'm going to Arcane Mirage you. I'm going to kill your Dapper Vampire. I'm going to gain a life. It's just insane. Obviously, they're uniques. It is tutorable, but usually you want to get Kythera with Spark Mage on Highland Princess, but I think the games you draw that, it's nuts.
Depends on your hand, I think, too, but like, yeah, most of the time. But
yeah.
I think that's cracked.
I think Ring's
all right.
Ring's
Let's
good.
close this out here. CJ, you said you had a constructed event tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
What deck are you playing?
I feel I wanted to come up with something really cool and new, but I'm running Birds because I have all the cards. The additions to Birds are like Ring of Morrigan, which I'm going to pick up at the shop beforehand, and like some commons.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, great, I got the commons.
I think this first month of TTS like meta is going to be good decks plus Arthurian Legends. Like,
yeah,
it's not going to be a Knights deck. I mean, Knights deck is great. It's not going to be a solo Arthurian Legends takeover of the meta. It's going to be, yeah.
At least in person, like who has all of the sites that you need, all of the knights that you need, and all of like who has all those cards, right? Like you said, you opened 6 boxes. You don't even have a ring. I'm sure you don't have all the sites. Like, do you have all the tri-lands?
I have 2.
There you go. I couldn't.
Got them in the last box too.
You couldn't go to the store and field a perfect knight deck right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be like, oh, Geomancer, he just added some cool stuff, and like Avatar of Air, they just added some stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be good decks, and plus the stuff you opened out of your 3 or 4 boxes you opened.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'm tired. Everybody else sound good?
Yeah, I gotta get up in 6.5 hours.
CJ, where can they find you?
Old Fashioned Nerds on YouTube.
Boom.
And then Mr. Blake.
Yeah, so the Experience Share also on YouTube. We talked a little bit about the Sorcery Sealed event at the beginning of the podcast. Feel free to go check out the breakdown where I actually walk through the deck, talk a little bit about the sealed videos, and then coming up on Saturday, I'm going to do a limited breakdown going through all the commons, all the ordinaries and exceptionals as well. Bruce?
Right here. Same bad channel, same bad place.